All right, guys, you know how much I love exploring new places, right? The energy, the unexpected, the stories you bring back. It's addictive. So pack your bags, grab your camera gear, because we're about to dive headfirst into the Netherlands. This isn't just some random country tour, all right? We're talking about the Netherlands, windmills, canals, art that'll blow your mind. This place is like stepping into a postcard. Seriously, we're talking about those iconic canals of Amsterdam. Fields of tulips that seem to stretch forever, and enough history to fill 1,000 vlogs. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. So, hit that subscribe button, buckle up, and let's get this adventure started. Amsterdam. Just saying the name conjures up images, right? Canals, bikes everywhere, those narrow houses. It's a vibe. And those canals, they're not just there for decoration. They're like the veins of this city, pumping life into every corner. Imagine, centuries ago, these canals were the highways, the trade routes, the lifeblood of Amsterdam. They've seen it all: merchants hauling goods, secret rendezvous, probably a few accidental swims too. Today you can cruise down these waterways, soaking in the scenery, the houseboats, the bridges, each one with its own story. It's like stepping back in time, but with better coffee shops. And speaking of coffee shops, let's be real, Amsterdam has a certain reputation. But beyond that, there's this incredible energy here. It's a city that embraces freedom, creativity. You can feel it in the air. Now, you can't talk about Amsterdam's canals without mentioning the houseboats. Imagine waking up every morning, literally on the water. Some of these houseboats are nicer than most apartments I've lived in. And the bikes, man. Amsterdam is a city that moves on two wheels. It's like a perfectly choreographed dance of bicycles, trams, and pedestrians. And somehow it works. No road rage here, just pure Dutch efficiency. But what really gets me about these canals is the way they reflect the sky. On a sunny day, the water sparkles, and the buildings seem to glow. And at night, the lights shimmer on the surface. It's pure magic. Look, I could spend hours just wandering along these canals, getting lost in the moment. But we've got a lot more ground to cover, so let's jump back on our bikes and explore another side of the Netherlands. All right, guys, prepare yourselves. We're about to enter a world of color unlike anything you've ever seen. I'm talking about Keukenhof Gardens, the tulip capital of the world. Imagine 32 hectares, that's like a zillion square feet, covered in millions of tulips. Red, yellow, purple, orange, you name it, they've got it. It's like walking into a rainbow explosion. Now here's the catch. Keukenhof is only open for a few weeks each spring when the tulips are in full bloom. So, if you're planning a trip, timing is everything. Trust me, it's worth planning your entire trip around. And it's not just tulips. We're talking hyacinths, daffodils, all sorts of crazy flowers I can't even pronounce. The air is filled with this sweet fragrance. It's like nature's perfume counter. Now I know what you're thinking, Casey, I'm not really a flower person, and that's cool, I get it. But Keukenhof is about more than just pretty flowers, it's an experience. There are these winding paths that lead you through the gardens, each turn revealing a new explosion of color. There are ponds, fountains, even a windmill, because you know, this is the Netherlands. And the best part is, you can just wander for hours getting lost in the beauty of it all. It's the perfect place to clear your head, escape the city, and just appreciate the simple things in life. Seriously guys, if you're ever in the Netherlands during tulip season, you have to check out Keukenhof. It's an experience you won't forget. Alright guys, we're talking Amsterdam, we're talking culture, we're talking art. You know, I'm not usually one for museums, too stuffy, too quiet. But the Rijksmuseum? This place is different. This is like the Louvre of the Netherlands, packed with masterpieces. We're talking Rembrandt, Vermeer, Van Gogh, the heavy hitters. And I'm not even exaggerating, this place is huge. Like seriously, you could spend a whole day here and barely scratch the surface. But you know me, I like to get to the good stuff. And trust me, the Rijksmuseum does not disappoint. One painting you absolutely can't miss is Rembrandt's The Night Watch. This thing is massive, seriously, it takes up a whole wall. And the detail, it's insane. You can practically feel the energy of the scene, the light, the movement. It's like stepping back in time. Now, I know what you're thinking. Casey, I'm not really an art person, but hear me out. Even if you're not a museum buff, there's something here for everyone. The Rijksmuseum has this way of making art accessible, you know? It's not just stuffy old paintings behind velvet ropes. They do a great job of telling the stories behind the art, the history, the culture. Plus, it's not just paintings. They've got sculptures, furniture, even dollhouses from different periods of Dutch history. It's like a crash course in Dutch culture all under one roof. So, bottom line, the Rijksmuseum is a must-see. Trust me, even if you think you're not an art person, this place will surprise you. Alright guys, get ready for this. We're leaving the city and heading to a place straight out of a fairy tale. I'm talking windmills, canals, wooden houses, the real deal Dutch experience. This is Zaanse Schans, and it's basically a living museum. Imagine a whole village frozen in time, back when windmills were the driving force of industry. We're not just talking about pretty scenery here though. These windmills were the real deal, grinding spices, producing paint, sawing wood. You can actually go inside some of them, see the mechanisms, and feel that history come alive. It's like stepping back in time, but in a good way. You know, the kind of place where you can breathe in the fresh air, escape the city noise, and just appreciate the craftsmanship of a bygone era. Now, I know what you're thinking. Casey, how exciting can windmills really be? But Zaanse Schans is way more than just windmills. It's a whole experience. You can wander around the village, check out the traditional houses. Some of them are even open to the public. You can learn about cheese making, clog making, all those classic Dutch crafts. They even have a chocolate factory. And trust me, the smell alone is worth the visit. It's like Willy Wonka, but with windmills. So, if you're looking for a break from the city, a chance to experience the real Netherlands, Zaanse Schans is the place to be. Alright guys, this next one is a little different. We're about to visit a place that's not just historically significant, it's emotionally powerful. I'm talking about the Anne Frank house. Now everyone knows the story of Anne Frank, the young Jewish girl who hid from the Nazis during World War II. Her diary, a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, has touched millions around the world, and this is where it all happened. This unassuming house on the Prinsengracht Canal is where Anne and her family lived in hiding for over 2 years. Stepping inside is a surreal experience. You walk through the same narrow hallways, climb the same creaky stairs, and see the actual rooms where Anne lived, wrote her diary, and dreamed of a better future. The Anne Frank house isn't just a museum, it's a testament to the horrors of the Holocaust and a powerful reminder of the importance of tolerance and understanding. You can see Anne's original diary, photos of her and her family, and exhibits that tell the story of the Frank family and the other people who hid with them. It's a heavy experience, no doubt, but it's also incredibly important. It forces you to confront the realities of prejudice and discrimination and reminds us that history can repeat itself if we're not careful. Visiting the Anne Frank house is a deeply moving experience. It's a reminder of the fragility of freedom and the importance of fighting for what's right. Alright guys, we're talking Van Gogh. You know him, you love him, maybe you even bought that poster at the dorm room sale freshman year. But trust me, there's way more to Vincent than just sunflowers. You walk through these halls, and you're literally walking through his life. You see the progression, the struggles, the raw emotion pouring out onto those canvases. It's like you can practically feel the energy, you know? So, if you're in Amsterdam, even if you're not an art buff, even if you think you know Van Gogh, do yourself a favor and spend a few hours here. Get lost in the brushstrokes, get up close and personal with the textures, the colors, the sheer power of his work. You'll walk out of there changed, I guarantee it. And hey, while you're there, hit up the gift shop, grab yourself a postcard or something. You know, support the arts, keep the legacy alive. But seriously, don't just take my word for it. Get out there, experience it for yourself. You might be surprised what you discover about Van Gogh, about art, maybe even about yourself. Alright, let's talk windmills, baby. Not just any windmills, we're talking about Kinderdijk, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and one of the most iconic spots in the Netherlands. We're talking about a landscape straight out of a Dutch Golden Age painting, a place where time seems to stand still. Imagine 19 perfectly preserved windmills all in a row, their sails slowly turning in the breeze. It's like stepping back in time, folks. But these windmills, they're not just pretty faces. They're a testament to Dutch ingenuity, a symbol of their never-ending battle against the water. For centuries, These bad boys have been pumping water, keeping the land dry, and basically making life in this part of the Netherlands possible. Now, you can walk around, take a boat tour, get up close and personal with these majestic structures. There's even a museum where you can learn all about the history of windmills and how they work. But honestly, the best way to experience Kinderdijk is to just wander around, soak in the atmosphere, and let the sheer scale of it all wash over you. It's a powerful reminder that sometimes the old ways are the best ways. And in a world that's constantly changing, there's something incredibly grounding about a place that's remained virtually unchanged for centuries. So, next time you're in the Netherlands, skip the tourist traps and head to Kinderdijk. You won't regret it. Alright, we're leaving Amsterdam behind for a bit, heading to The Hague. Now I know what you're thinking. The Hague? Isn't that just where all the boring government stuff happens? And yeah, okay, it's true. The Hague is the seat of the Dutch government, the International Court of Justice, all that serious stuff. But trust me, there's a lot more to this city than meets the eye. First off, the city itself is beautiful, full of grand old buildings, charming canals, and leafy parks. It's got a much more laid-back vibe than Amsterdam, less crowded, more relaxed. Plus, The Hague has a rich history, dating back to the 13th century. It's seen it all, from royal intrigue to international diplomacy. And that history, it's woven into the fabric of the city, giving it a depth and a sense of place that you won't find anywhere else. Now, you can't talk about The Hague without mentioning the Peace Palace. This iconic building, it's not just a pretty facade, it's a symbol of international cooperation, a beacon of hope in a world that often seems hell-bent on tearing itself apart. But beyond the serious stuff, The Hague is a city that knows how to have a good time. There's a vibrant arts and culture scene, amazing restaurants, and a beach. You heard that right, a beach. So yeah, The Hague might not be the first place that comes to mind when you think of the Netherlands, but trust me, it's worth a visit. It's a city that will surprise you, challenge you, and maybe even inspire you. Who knows, you might even learn a thing or two about international law while you're at it. Alright guys, buckle up because we're about to dive into a world that's straight out of your childhood dreams. Forget Amsterdam for a sec, we're talking Efteling, the Netherlands' answer to Disneyland. Imagine walking through an enchanted forest, sunlight dappling through the trees, and suddenly you stumble upon a talking mushroom. It's a place where fairy tales come to life, where rides tell stories, and where you can't help but feel like a kid again. Efteling is an experience you won't forget. Trust me, this place is pure magic. Now you might be thinking, Casey, theme parks? Isn't that a little cheesy? But Efteling isn't just about the rides, it's about the experience. Meticulously crafted environments, captivating shows, and an atmosphere that makes you believe in the impossible. And the food? From traditional Dutch treats to international fare, there's something for everyone. It's a place for everyone, young or old, thrill seeker or casual stroller. For a unique and unforgettable experience in the Netherlands, Efteling is it. Alright, we're switching gears now, trading in the fairy tale charm for some serious urban grit. Rotterdam, baby! This city is like the phoenix of the Netherlands, rising from the ashes of World War II. Rotterdam is all about bold lines, innovative structures, and a skyline that will leave you speechless. Beneath that modern exterior beats the heart of a city full of life and energy. From the iconic cube houses to the futuristic Markthal, Rotterdam is constantly pushing boundaries. Now, let's talk culture because Rotterdam is bursting at the seams with it. We're talking cutting-edge art at the Kunsthal, maritime history at the Maritime Museum, and a thriving street art scene that will blow your mind. And the food? Oh man, Rotterdam is a melting pot of flavors. From traditional Dutch fare to international cuisine, you'll find it all here. And don't even get me started on the coffee culture, this city takes its caffeine seriously. But what really makes Rotterdam special is its people. They're a resilient bunch, these Rotterdammers, with a down-to-earth attitude and a fierce pride in their city. They're the ones who bring the energy, the creativity, and the soul to this urban playground. So if you're looking for a city that's on the cutting edge, a city that's not afraid to break the mold, a city that's bursting with life, then Rotterdam is calling your name. Trust me, this city will leave its mark on you. And that's a wrap! We've explored the canals of Amsterdam, wandered through tulip fields, and even stepped into a real-life fairy tale. From the historical charm of The Hague to the modern energy of Rotterdam, the Netherlands has something for everyone. But this is just a taste, guys. There's so much more to discover in this tiny country that packs a big punch. So, what are you waiting for? Book that ticket, pack your bags, and go experience the wonder of the Netherlands for yourself. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment down below telling me which spot you're most excited to visit. And as always, stay curious, keep exploring, and I'll catch you in the next adventure. Peace.